Welcome back to AM Northwest. After the death of their teenage son, our next guest and her husband struggled with soul-crushing grief, but found a way to rediscover joy thanks to a number of rescue dogs. Here to share her life-affirming new memoir, we welcome the author of 5 Dog Epiphany, actress and screenwriter Marianne Leone. Good to have you with us, Marianne. As a dog lover myself, totally get it. And I have to start with, this all starts with your son, Jesse, who passed away. My heart goes out to you. I'm so sorry. There's no greater grief than that. I can't imagine. But he really wanted a dog years ago.
Yes, and that's why our first dog was not a rescue, because this happened very early. Pre-internet, I did not know about puppy mills or anything like that. But what I did know was that our quadriplegic, nonverbal but brilliant son wanted a dog because he sat on Santa's lap. He mustered every ability he had to make his mouth work and said, "Dog." And I turned to my husband and said, "He's getting a dog."
He's getting a dog. And
so Goody appeared on his bed.
You found him at a pet store, right? Or
I did find him at a pet store, but we were not aware, as I said, of the horror from where some of these dogs come. And, Goody did not live as long as the rescue dogs that we had later, Lucky and Frenchie, who lived with us for 13 years and died at 17 during COVID lockdown. And he had a bad heart, Goody. A lot of these dogs are compromised health-wise because their mothers keep giving birth and giving birth and giving birth.
Absolutely. In fact, Goody, the first dog that you got for Jesse, your son, he passed away not shortly after, like 6 months after your son died. You could say it was of a broken heart.
Yes. What used to really make me jealous of Goody was that he used to run into Jesse's room, stop short, and then his tail would wag. And he was saying, "Hi, hi." And oh my God, what is he seeing? What is he seeing? It wasn't 6 months. It was 2 years after.
2 years. Okay, sorry.
If that's okay. If you read that book by Bessel van der Kolk, The Body Keeps the Score, I grew a tumor the size of my premature son at birth. And it was a cancerous tumor, and they removed it, and I was well, but Goody died the night of the surgery.
Wow.
So real via dolorosa. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. So then what made you decide to adopt the next 2 dogs that you adopted together, rescues?
Well, then I was recovering like some, neurasthenic Victorian lady on the sofa. and I started looking at Pet Finder, and I saw these 2. I saw Lucky and Frenchie, who were so bedraggled and down looking. It was as if their names were a joke, Lucky Dog and French Fry. And we drove to Connecticut, and we got them soon after. And it was our first time with rescue dogs, and these 2 were a bonded pair. So they had each other. So they were, they were together, but they were fearful. And it took them a while, but I wrote about in the book how the thrill it was to let the day Lucky finally went off leash and ran freely, but then look back at us like, "You're still there, right? You're there." And
now, in order to adopt some of these dogs, you have to kind of be approved. Like they have to someone has to come and approve your house and your approach. And I think there was a conversation where the woman who was doing the approving said that since you had had a child with a disability, you understand the nurturing and care that it takes for a dog with problems.
I know, and at the time I did judge her, but I only judged her because she told me she had 9 Pomeranians. But after having these 2, I thought,
now wait a second. I can understand the judgment. 9 Pomeranians is a lot, but I also get that I could have, 9 dogs myself. So I get it.
This was what I realized afterwards. I thought, you are in no position to judge this woman. You want 9 or 10 Bichons. So,
And then your husband, Chris Cooper, who is an actor, you're also an actress as well in The Sopranos. I remember you in The Sopranos, which was incredible. How did he feel about bringing these 2 babies into your life?
Well, he was wary at both times this happened. He was like, I'm still mourning. I'm still mourning Goody, and I was like, no. And then we had Lucky and Frenchie for 13 years, and they both were 17, and they died during lockdown. And I said to my husband, a dogless household feels bleak
Yeah.
after having dogs.
So then you adopted Sugar,
Right.
and do you say TT?
TT. Yeah, Sugar and TT, who do sound like exotic dancers. We got them from Louisiana, and
Uh-huh.
they are, TT had been really waiting to be adopted because she was abused horribly. She was
Yeah.
kept in a cage for 6 years,
Oh my gosh.
delivered one litter after another, and so neglected that the harness was allowed to grow into her
Oh
flesh.
my gosh. Oh,
And she was the fear biter because of that.
yeah.
And nobody was adopting her, but we adopted her. And there she is smiling in that photograph. She was, she did draw blood from Chris the first day, but then, and what I love about my husband is he says, "Oh, I'm a guy. I was wearing a hat. I loomed."
Yeah.
That's right. He was right. He was sensitive enough to know that that was what, I mean, he didn't. And after that, TT fell madly in love with him. So every time she even looks at him now, she shimmies like Marilyn Monroe and Some Like It Hot or something. She's like wildly in love with him, which I kind of resent because I'm the one who feeds her.
Yeah.
But
It is funny though how dogs can bring joy back into your life again, right?
oh my God. The first time I saw her run off leash, and then come back to us, I felt tears come to my eye. I thought,
Yeah.
she doesn't know what that is to run free,
Right.
And then Sugar had never been abused, but she had been allowed to run wild. So, but I saw Sugar was playing with a ball. And then the next day I saw TT playing with a ball, and I thought, oh, her resilience is so
Yeah.
beautiful. And
Incredible.
and then the
Incredible.
ultimate was her on our memory quilt of Jesse's t-shirts, and she's on her back, just luxuriating. And I think, oh, this is like a two-way healing,
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We want to
Beautiful.
tell everyone that your book again is titled Five Dog Epiphany. Marianne Leone, thank you so much.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to you.
It was fun. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.